know is, what's it like being back with these guys?
Oh, it's so great. You know, we're just talking about wonderful times and things that were exciting, things that were funny. Jack Fimple, for example, we brought him up from the minor leagues. We brought 5 of them up. 4 of them showed up, but he didn't. And I was really upset. You know, they're all come from the same place. But when he finally came to me, he showed me a letter that was written by the cab driver that the cab had broken down, and he missed the airplane. And I'm going, I've seen everything in this
Like
game.
the dog ate my homework thing, right?
I've seen everything in the game. I have never had a letter from a cab driver. And Jack, another time, he goes down. He thinks he's late, and they don't see anybody there. So he takes the team bus and he goes to the ballpark in Cincinnati. We come down to go to the ballpark, and the bus is not there. He took it himself to the ballpark in Cincinnati. God almighty.
You don't want to be late, Tommy. You don't want you to yell at him.
Yeah. Oh, I never yell at him.
Not you. Never.
I never yelled at you guys, did I? Fifth, did I lie?
If you didn't yell, there was something wrong.
Right?
I never yelled at you, Jack.
Wait, what was that you used to say? You didn't yell at him after the game, you yelled at him before the game, right? Right?
And during the game. Or as the story would say, during. You know, because he doesn't know how to talk. He's from Pennsylvania. We say during. He says boring. Whatever that means.
Steve, what's it like to see some of these fans?
And like when he says, quit making, you make an error.
Yeah.
He says, ers. Don't, and he, like you're supposed to go down there, he just goes down there.
Yeah,
you don't know how to talk.
It's a Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah.
You know? Steve, what's it like being with all these fans again?
I think it's great. You know, it's a good chance to reminisce with all the people that cheered for you and all that, and it's good to come back because they haven't forgotten the hard. I think they appreciated in that era a lot of hard work, and that's I think what distinguished our teams maybe from others. They liked the hard work that they saw.
Yeah, can you put 1988 world champs, because you can see it's a Barges. Thank you very much, Tommy. I caught it and I gave it to my dad. He recently passed away. Thank you. Thanks, Tommy.
Well, Rick and I were just talking that today, unlike prior celebrations and Saturdays, there were statements by the fans about how much they appreciated the organization and the players and the memories and the sentiments. Weren't a lot of questions for us today, but a lot of statements that were really tender and endearing and heartfelt, and kind of neat for us to hear it.
You know, it's interesting to me because, Manny Ramirez is a huge star, but all of you guys, when you were playing, were that huge of stars, and people are acknowledging that.
I think last night, and again, you get 2 ball players sitting next to one another, much less 20. And we shared a lot of very memorable times, and quite frankly, a great deal of our lives, and really fun parts of our lives. And to have the fans come back and say, they were sharing in it. And the baseball park, quite frankly, is a wonderful escape from reality. It was a place that we escaped to. Life does not stop even for the players. There are report cards, there are teachers, parents meetings with the kids, things like that. But once you're at the ballpark, reality is kind of shut down for a few hours. This is kind of a timeout zone. And now, many years later, to come back and to hear the thoughts of people that can tell you where they were when Steve hit the ball, or somebody made this catch, or matchups between Bobby Welch and Reggie Jackson. That's what goes kind of full circle, because it hasn't just touched our generation. There were generations before us, and if we did the right thing as we were playing, there's going to be many more generations that will also share this moment, not just with the players, but the players and the fans and the people that really supported this game.
Do you remember when the crowds roared for you guys like it did last night here?
I more so from a standpoint, I will say this, and interested in your thought. When the player says, well, I didn't hear the crowd, baloney. What you don't do is allow it to sink in from a negative standpoint. You try and capture that energy. You knew if it was going pretty well. You wanted to get booed on the road, but you did not want to get booed at home.
How about you, Steve? Do you remember the cheers?
Well, after time, you become mature in understanding how you can use the crowd, both at home to energize you, and on the road to do it in spite of them. And a lot of times when they're yelling and screaming at you, and Philadelphia comes to mind. We had some really tough games there, and the fans were great behind their team, and we turned it around. And the best way to quiet a crowd is to get a hit, to strike out a batter, to make a catch, to beat out a ground ball. We did all those things and beat them that way and quieted the crowd.
It's a great pleasure. I mean, it's a great feeling to come back, 10, 20 years back and see all the old guys. And I mean, it's a great thrill to be around and again.
Well, today, listening to testimonies from the different people, any type of sport, whether it's baseball, basketball, or football, it makes life goes easier. It makes people forget for that particular moment about the things that we're dealing with today. And it's always good to come back and basically, I'm from Southern California, to visit and being with the guys again.
When you were playing and you heard the roars of the crowds and you know how you might affect people's lives, did you ever really think it would be this much 20 years later?
You never know in life. Like I was told, always give all you have, 110%. So once you finish at your career, you can look back and say, I did it. I did what I was supposed to do. And I guess, you get rewarded for a lot of things that you did and memories that you had and affected people's lives.
What's it like to be back together again after all these years?
I never played with Tim, but I'm glad I missed him because he looked like he threw pretty hard.
How about for you?
Well, this is great, seeing players that I played with, players that were on the Dodgers before me, or guys I played against. And I grew up a Dodger fan. I grew up here in Santa Monica, so it's exciting and see the fan interest.
It's surprising that so many of these fans come back and they're so excited to see you guys.
Well, it's not surprising, actually. In fact, I think there's there's thousands and thousands of fans that would respond to this if we just bring it to them, out there in their communities. I've been coaching kids out on the west side, and there's kids out there that love baseball, and the parents love baseball, and they love the Dodgers, and so there's a lot of room for the Dodgers to reconnect in the communities.
It's interesting because everybody talks about the cheers last night for Manny Ramirez, but this team in the 80s, you guys got those cheers. Do you remember them?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, the Dodgers fans are some true fans because they know baseball, and one thing about them, they ain't afraid to boo you, too, if you're not doing your job. So that's part of the business, too. But, yeah, they true good fans here.
Do you remember the cheers?
Oh, yeah. And it was special memories here. I got here in '87, and the team struggled. Then in '88, it was sort of a miracle team, Cinderella team, and to see the difference there, playing under Lasorda, it was a special year for me personally and for Dodger fans, and the fans are so ready to feel that excitement again. And this team has, a nucleus of great young players, and they're very close to really putting some exciting things together.